Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Dykman, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, in La Crosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, race fans, welcome in one more time for 2019, our last program of the racing season here on Seven Rivers Racing. I'm Dan Dyke along with Bill Niles and Paul Reichert. Look at that. I didn't even use our nicknames that time.
What the hell is going on here?
I have my shirt. I'm just cold today. And I'm going to go see the Badgers play UW La Crosse this weekend, and I'm just in the festive Badger mood. The racing's done.
What a weenie.
I know. But I still have my fansarena.com shirt right here.
Paul.
Yes.
There we go.
Fantastic sponsor of the program for the past, oh my goodness, I think since year number one. Matter of fact, I was going through my closet the other day, and I was going to bring it today, but I forgot. I have my old black. When Al Losi used to do the program with me, I have the old black racing shirt.
Speaking of the
tan fishing one.
Speaking of the first year, I was just talking with station manager Rick Wilson before we came on the air. We were talking about how long this show has been on the air, and I said, well, I think it has to be at least 2011 was the first year because Jesse actually came out to my shop and shot a bunch of footage of like engines and setup, and then you brought me in here as one of your first guests to talk about what we were seeing. So yeah, it's 9 years and
9 years.
Impressive.
Oh, I need to turn my phone down. See, somebody already heard us talk about this being 9 years, and they want to get on the program.
Quit checking your phone out.
10 years coming up next year. It's so funny too. It was 9 years ago. I've announced the Cratetoberfest parade for 10 years in Warrens, and that very first year that I did that, Rick Wilson was setting up the TV cameras and stuff because they videotaped Cratetoberfest and then play it back every year. And he just happened to say, hey, Dan, have you ever thought about doing a racing TV show? And I'm like, no. And that was in the first year of doing the radio show at the other station. And we had a conversation, and I didn't really know a whole lot of people at the time around here, so Al Losi and I have talked quite a bit in the pits when his son was racing. So Al and I did the first 2 years, and that means you've been on for 7 years now?
Well,
no.
I've been on at least once every year. I've been
because you were one of my first guests to start the show every year.
Yeah, I've been on at least once every year, and I started co-hosting with you 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
That means I freelanced it for a couple of years by myself. That's right.
What I want to know is you've gone through two other co-hosts before you got to me, and then we added Paul. What did you do to make them so mad that they went running?
Well, I can't figure out who it was, though.
You had Al Losi and you had Rob Butterfield.
Oh, yeah, Butterfield. Yeah, but Butterfield works for the government taking pictures, and he's only back in the country.
So the government saw him on TV and jerked him off the program?
Sent him back to Poland or someplace to take pictures of glaciers or something like that. No, he does government contract. He takes pictures of like oil cranes and things like that that the government owns.
Okay, so this is kind of the wrap-up show, and we're going to be showing some more highlights from Oktoberfest here later in the show, but kind of putting a wrap on this year's season. And you've been doing the show for 9 years now. Anything that sticks out in your mind as like a never forget moment on camera? Not talking about off-camera stuff like we do, but
well. Would have been probably this year when Nick Oxborough at Oktoberfest was the first one ever to drop an F-bomb on the program.
Yeah, I was just talking with Jesse a little while ago. I said, that's the longest beep I ever heard.
I like it when we're on location. I think when we've been to Big Boar Barbecue on the north side location with Matt Henderson, the year that we filmed and ended up being up there for like 6 hours because Jerry Beyer just kept purchasing things for us and didn't get out there till like 9 o'clock at night. That was fun. The shows we do at Big Boar Barbecue, love doing those, especially with the 6-weight piston pounders. I think that's been fantastic the past 2 years. We did the TV show of the Dick Trickle Memorial this year, which we were very glad to be a part of. But I don't know. I think Nick Oxborough's faux pas would have been the biggest one to stand out. And here it is 9 years later.
You know, you talk about taking the TV show on the road. We've done Oktoberfest, you know, for how many years, and you've always done it on location somewhere there, whether Victory Lane or up in the scoring tower or next to your camper, which was actually a pretty good location. And then the last couple of years, we've been on the stage, whether either in the exhibition hall or outside, depending on weather.
It would have been outside this year had it not been so blustery.
Yeah, it was.
The chance of rain.
It was pretty rainy that day. And
I do have to just say, now that you say that, we did a show, Ty Majeski's very first year running at the La Crosse Speedway. This TV show was the very first one he ever appeared on, and that was in the winner's circle, along with Harley Jankowski, Corey Jankowski, Frank Cryer, because Frank was still racing at that time. And
as you're going to see later in the show, he still is.
Corey Jankowski's car was behind us, and Frank Cryer's was over to this side. And one of the first earliest TV pictures you'll see at the La Crosse Speedway was Kevin Ramsel, myself, Frank Cryer, and a very young-looking Ty Majeski at that time. That was a really good show.
That's really impressive. You know?
That was the year that Harley Jankowski was standing, waiting in the wings to tape the program. And the race the weekend before, it was Harley versus Ty. And they were banging off each other like there was no tomorrow. And Ty's like, or Harley's like, hey, if you're going to hit, I'm just going to hit you right back. I don't care who you are. So then we taped the TV show in the winner's circle the next weekend, and Ty would not refer to Harley by his name. He would refer to him as the kid. Yeah. 4 or 5 times. Go back and watch that show, Simmers Racing on YouTube. He would never say his name, and Harley's standing right there by the wall, and he would never say his name. He would say that kid.
Yeah. And I'd say the time that I've been on the show the last 3 years, the Dick Trickle Memorial Project was definitely a highlight. Going up there, could have used better weather, but you know that's without a doubt a highlight for me. But you know, we got a couple of minutes.
And what about Paul?
Yeah, Paul.
Actually, the Dick Trickle Memorial Project, going there, seeing it up close and personal, that was just a terrific day. Of course, the weather, like you said, could have been better.
You know, we only got like about a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the segment. Paul, you got a chance to go to Rockford to check out their Sunday portion that got rained out from earlier in the month. Talk about what you saw and some of the stuff that happened.
The bandit feature there, Nick Schmidt, who's a regular Slinger in the Slinger B division, won the race. They have a breakout rule, 16.4 seconds. It applies to qualifying, and it also applies in the feature.
Really?
In the race, yep. And there were 3 drivers up towards the front that got went past that breakout rule, and they were tossed out of the race.
Unreal.
Schmidt was the last one. He didn't go over that breakout time. So he ended up claiming the win. Of course, Casey Johnson won Ultrafast. Thank you, copyright Bill Niles. Won the Super Late Model feature.
Trademark. It's a difference.
And unfortunately, the rain finally hit Rockford a little after 3:30, with 100 laps to go. Unfortunately, so Casey did hold on to win the race. Brad J.J. Miller was second in that race.
And I think while you're talking here, we got some mid-am highlights.
Mid-am highlights, yeah. It was a lot better than the last chance qualifier. That was a wreck fest, but the feature was clean green all the way until 4 laps to go. Ryan Gugnecht and Dale Likas Jr. got together and led to a 4-lap shootout. Vandermeer had held off Cody Clubb for quite a while, and then all of a sudden they got loose in 1 and 2, and Bobby Gugnecht got under Clubb to take second, but Vandermeer held him off to claim the win and claim his second straight championship.
Unbelievable.
Well, I thought we were going to roll a video right there.
We were rolling video while he was talking.
That was a good segue right there.
It really was.
Hey, Vandermeer Jr. again, the spirited battle he had with Clubb at the Thomas Porter Speedway this year, when Cody Clubb broke the rear trailing arm that sparked up for the last 30 laps, and he couldn't believe that the back end just didn't destroy on that thing.
Yeah. That was a pretty awesome race. They had another great race to end the season there at Rockford. So congratulations, Ron, on your second straight championship.
Yep.
Well, not much more to say there. Hey, when we come back, we're going to get back into Oktoberfest. We're going to show you what happened in the vintage race. They're watching Big Boar Barbecue presents 7 Rivers Racing.
Want to keep your employees happy? Buy them all lunch. Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We cater lunches all the time for businesses big and small, 10 to 500. We can handle it. Give us a call and we'll help you figure out a great menu. Let's face it, good people are hard to find, so we can help you keep the ones you got. My grandpa used to say, you want to keep someone happy? Feed them barbecue. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
And online at BigBoarBBQ.com.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Building a Higher Standard Award winner. Call Carey today for your free estimate.
Welcome back, Simmers Racing KQEG TV, our final show of 2019. It's the Doc and the Penguin and myself, the Voice. And we do want to thank some fantastic sponsors again, hopping on board, helping us bring you this program. Was it 5 or 6 times a week? A couple of times before the replays of the Knights of Thunder at the Lacrosse Speedway. Of course, Drew Krybeck and Back 40 Raps and Epic Media put this beautiful banner behind us together, which has Big Boar Barbecue, the title sponsor on. I want to thank Jerry Beyer for having us out again this year. And we were the guinea pigs of the fried chicken this year.
The fried chicken, yeah. Guess what? It's delicious. If you haven't tried it yet, get to West Salem and try it. You will not be disappointed.
And add them on Facebook, because now they're always putting up in the morning by about 10 o'clock their daily lunch specials. So make sure you guys see that. And we're going to have to go out and visit Jerry during the winter time here a couple of good times and maybe see what he's got going on. Talking about going on, I had the pleasure.
We forgot one more sponsor.
Well, yeah, Carey Heating.
Carey Heating, yes.
As a matter of fact, they were up on the roof of my hotel on Wednesday. I had a heater go out up there, so they've done a fantastic job helping us up there throughout the year. I had the pleasure of being the announcer for the Upper Midwest Vintage Racing Series again this year. Matter of fact, they surprised me up in the booth during Oktoberfest with a congratulatory plaque this year for everything I've done for those guys, and I greatly appreciated that. And to kind of repay them, we had a fantastic field of vintage cars running at Oktoberfest this year. Some familiar names came back, some new names, and some new cars. Your favorite, the Black Knight.
Yeah, the Black Knight was out there. I was very impressed. Kevin Peterson, what a great race he ran, but could he keep up with Woody Poole? And here's what happened in the vintage race.
On the front straightaway with 8 laps to go. Close to the outside. We got Val for the lead, Dan.
Well, they've got Lee as the leader, but we know that's not correct. Linehan leads, Poole is second, Peterson third. Here comes Kenny Hutchinson fourth.
Nice 4-car battle brewing up front here as Linehan leads Poole. They come around, they get that car to move over. We're halfway through this one.
7 to go. Woody Poole to the inside. Linehan, oh, he's going to back it back up. They almost touch.
They sure do as they go on the backstretch. Poole says, oh, that's fine. I'll just go to the outside. Now pass you as we go through 3 and 4. Easily does it.
Woody Poole is way past age 70 and loves doing what he's doing as he'll get past Linehan. Now the question is, can the Black Knight of Kevin Peterson join the front?
He's got 6 laps to go in order to make a move. He needs to get by Linehan. Will he also make the same move the outside? He sure does. Linehan wants to keep that inside line. Here comes Peterson.
Oh, Linehan and Peterson touch as they head into turn 4. Peterson unscathed as he'll take second. Kenny Hutchins, one of the creators of the Upper Midwest Racing Vintage Series, running at third.
5 laps to go. Let's see if Peterson will catch down Woody Poole, or Woody Poole making 4 wins in a row. Hutchins in third. Linehan falls back to 4th. Here they come by. 4 laps to go. Woody Poole still leads. Doesn't look like Peterson's catching him.
This has to be, and I've announced the Vintage Racing Series for 13 straight years, one of the closest battles we've had in the Oktoberfest Vintage feature.
Yeah, this one's not over yet. I just wait to see if Peterson's got anything more in there as he goes into turn 3. He'll come by and see 3 laps to go, and it looks like the lead is stabilizing for Poole.
Can Woody Poole hold out for 3 more laps? Kevin Peterson in the Black Knight, holding down second. First time the Super America Black Knight has ever been here.
We may see a battle for second brew here between Peterson and Hutchins as they go into turn 3. Meanwhile, Poole will come around with just 2 laps to go in this one. The popsicle 6 are in the air from Chris the Flagman.
Woody Poole starting to open things up. 2 to go. He's got clean air. Nobody in front of him down the back straightaway. The Black Knight second. The Tide Machine throwback of
Ricky Rudd when he ran to Monte Carlo and his own team, one of the last true car owners in NASCAR. White flag is out for Woody Poole.
4 left turns and a front straight remain for Woody Poole. He is about to make Oktoberfest history.
Going into turn 3, he's got a huge lead. We're keeping an eye on for that battle for second between Peterson and Hutchins. But anyways, he's going to do it, Dan.
There it is. Woody Poole has just broken Oktoberfest racing history. His 4th straight Oktoberfest victory.
Well, we thought the time that it was Woody Poole's 4th straight to win in the Vintage feature, but there was a little issue there last year's race. But congratulations to Woody on yet another win in the Vintage Series feature. Is he retiring, or do we know?
That's what he told me. That's what he told me in Victory Lane
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to retire next year, and then next year, and then next year. You know, one thing I have seen, though, is there's been a lot of selling of the Upper Midwest vintage racing cars this year, and there are some new buyers and some new drivers. So watch their Facebook page during the wintertime, because the Catone family's got some things in store, and some other drivers as well. I know the Black Knight wants to make it a full run at the Vintage Series next year. Todd Kors said he plans on trying to get a couple more races in, depending upon his annual work schedule.
You know what my all-time favorite vintage race would be? If you get that White Knight car that Kenny Lewis has,
and wrecked,
get that Blue Knight car that Gilbertson has,
that Tom Refner ran last year.
Get that Black Knight car, then you get the Marv Marzoff car, the Mike Miller car. I see there's a Rich Summers car floating around right there.
Yeah.
Put them 6 in a race, and that right there is flashback.
That would be good.
Flashback tingles right there.
And then real quick, if you missed it at Fest, that was the last time you'll ever see the Moose Peterson car. They retired that one.
Ooh.
What was the other one? Oh, the Tide. The Tide.
Yeah, Kenny Hutchins car. Kenny Hutchins retired the Tide car, yeah.
So you're not going to see either of those cars race anymore. But they are going to be replaced with 2 more cars this year that Kenny has sworn me to secrecy on. One of them, I think we did let the cat slip out of the bag at Oktoberfest. But it's going to be really, really cool. And if you don't have Kenny Hutchins on Facebook, you need to add him, Hutchens. He's always showing the old Skull Bandit, and he's always showing what his garage looks like in his shop. And you want Vintage Series, that guy has it. When we come back, you want Cratetoberfest? Well, we have that too on 7 Rivers Racing.
You want barbecue, but she doesn't? What do? Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We know not everyone wants barbecue. That's why we feature so much more, like our fried chicken, Philly steak sandwich, meatloaf, great burgers, salads, wraps, and more. So keep peace in the family, stop in and try something from our extensive menu. It's so much cheaper than a divorce. Big Boar and more, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that actually matter.
Hey, Dave.
Like giving Jeff his ladder back before he takes it back. Or where to put the food when you both get the groceries. Or the doggy door that just became a raccoony door. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Building a Higher Standard Award winner. Call Carey today for your free estimate.
Welcome back for the very last time. We told people in segment 1 this was the last time. Then in segment 2 we said it was also the last time. Now this is the final last time of 2019 for the racing show. Next time you'll see us, we're going to be live and in person at the Cross Speedway banquet. Hopefully we can get some video.
No, we got one more before that.
What's that?
The Christmas special.
Well, yeah, but are you going to be there?
No.
Well, then see that's not the 3 of us.
That's you.
Bill doesn't go to any of the special stuff we do.
That's your
He
gig.
won't go to the banquet.
That's your gig.
Paul went. Paul was at the meetings last year. Yeah. We have, by the way, started our meetings for the 7th annual Henderson Christmas Surprise, which we're going to be airing it. We're going to be taking bits and pieces of the entire presentation and then again making a half-an-hour TV show out of it this year. And we expect to surpass $30,000.
Everything I've read about this is going to be the biggest one yet. So that's going to be amazing.
Had a big kickoff meeting last week. We're looking at doing possibly, we're going to do well over 8 families, which equates to about 30 people, because there are some large families out there. We do expect to pass $30,000 in raised funds.
And if you've got a cold heart, watch some of this. This will melt you. Some of the reactions. It's an incredible show, very much worth watching. The day after Christmas this year is when it will air.
And if you want to go watch us do this live, it's going to be December 20th. And we have not disclosed the location of it because it's going to be one of 2 areas, but we will have it on our Facebook page at 7 Rivers Racing. Cratetoberfest was new to Fest this year.
Yeah, something new. They got this 602 motor, this crate motor that they've been running around the state, and it's in different cars, what you're going to see in the video here in a couple of minutes. Different cars, trucks, modifieds. I mean, it's so cool to see something like this. They put them all together in a 25-lap race. And just to see the winner was going to get himself a brand new motor and $1,000. He got to draw a name out of a bucket for another new crate motor, and it was a pretty cool concept and a really cool idea. And here's what happened in the last few laps at Cratetoberfest.
On aerodynamics going in the corners to keep that car on the gas pedal the whole time.
Again, I've only seen 2 of that like that here in the 13 years of analysis. Bill Pretzels and Jeff Burrows, who had that one who used to run in the Outlaws. I like those.
Yeah, sure does. Bryce Miller's running currently 6th. You got Thayer and Razor right behind him, challenging for that 6th position as they try to get by the lap traffic here. Miller's going to use that lap traffic as a pick and continue to hold on to that spot.
7.5 to go. Wow, look at Thayer and Raisin blow past the 11 of Bryce Miller. And when I said blow, his quarter panels were darn near coming off the car.
He just had to wait for that opening, but there's a big gap between him and Dave Edwards, who's currently running in the 5th spot. Oh, 9 car almost got loose up in turn 2, but he's able to keep it. We're still green.
And that's David Borntrager, your champion at Dells Raceway Park and the Thomas Porter Speedway this year. Frank Cryer, leader, rolls off of 4. Across the stripe, we're going to put up 6 to go. Then it's Dave Trude, then it's Jason Stark.
Meanwhile, I got a nice battle brewing up with Bryce Miller and Dustin Mann as they come off of turns 3 and 4. Right now, that's a battle for 7th with just 6 laps to go this time by.
And something to explain, not everybody out here has a 602 in their car right now.
May not, but they're hoping to get one for free
in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, in about 5 minutes or so, less than 5 minutes. We've got 5 laps to go in this one for the field. Frank Cryer is out to a safe lead over Dave Trude.
Frank Cryer about to put James Swan a lap down. Dave Trude, Jason Stark, still running 1, 2, and 3. Eric Campbell running in the number 4 position, and holding down the number 5 slot is Dave Edwards.
It looks like Dave Raisin has caught up to Dave Edwards in turn 2. That's a battle for 5th. Let's see if Raisin can get by Edwards and get himself in the 5th position.
Yeah, as many cars as we've had entered here, we had 20 entered, 19 made the show. This could be a staple here at Oktoberfest. The fans are on their feet. They like what they're watching. I think the racing's been outstanding because Cryer's just not stepping away from the field like we thought he was going to.
Exactly, he's making a show. But meanwhile, Raisin did get past Edwards and now puts himself in the top 5 with just 2 laps to go. Down the backstretch, you can see that the leader, Frank Cryer, just keeping nice safe distance from him and Dave Trude.
Thayer raised again, running for Rick Coppernoll, finds his way to the top 5. This time by, we're going to drop the laundry. 4 left turns and a front straight remain for Frank Cryer, who is going for the Cratetoberfest sweep.
Going for the sweep and not only win the heat, but also the faster qualifying section. He's got no contest. He's in turns 3 and 4, Dan.
Off for turn 4, the white goes away. Checker flag is out. The first Cratetoberfest goes to Frank Cryer. Dave True will wheel in 2nd, 3rd, Jason Stark. Fourth will be Eric Campbell, who's probably kicking himself for blowing his doors up into turn number 1. And rounding out the top 5 is Theron Raisin. I like this.
Well, a great job there by Frank Cryer to claim the Cratetoberfest 602 Challenge feature, or Chazzotti as he's known as at the Dells there.
And even a better job of him picking his buddy Dave Truitt to win another 602 crate.
Just what them two needed was 2 new motors, right?
You could hear Bill and you could hear Frank in the Winner's Circle Oktoberfest all the way to the tower. When I heard, yes, and I hear, oh, you got to be kidding me. And Kim and Ramsline look at each other like, if it's true, we're walking home. So now there is a good used 602 crate motor for sale on the Facebook Marketplace. I saw it last year. I think Hannah Rayleigh was running that. It's only got 5 races on it, so if you want a good deal on a 602, it's out there.
Unbelievable. One more time, we got to thank our sponsors, Big Boar Barbecue, Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, fansarena.com, Back 40 Wraps, and Epic Vinyl and Media.
And this guy right here, huge addition to the TV program again this year, as we've kind of expanded his role on TV and
radio.
His role on radio.
We got him up to 1 question a segment now on the radio.
Paul is like the unsung hero. Bill and I know what we're doing on here, and you had never did TV before. You did some part-time radio stuff, but a huge addition. Yes, the 3 of us are going to be back next year. Bigger, better. Hopefully, we're going to be on the road a lot more times. Get the cameras.
I want to renegotiate my contract.
Yeah.
Well, Paul can because I feed him every Wednesday when we tape some of the program, and he's been killing me this year. It's Mr. Cordon Bleu over here.
Unreal. See you all next year.
I want to thank Jesse, our producer. I want to thank station manager Rick Wilson for giving us the opportunity to do the show, allowing me to do it for 9 years, 10 years next year, and of course, Magnum.media. Watch the Facebook page during the winter. We're always going to throw up some flashback videos. And that is 7 Rivers Racing. Until the all the Henderson Motorsports Special and the Lacrosse Speedway Banquet, we bid you farewell. And thanks for joining us on 7 Rivers Racing.
You've been watching 7 Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Diker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, in Lacrosse on 3rd Street downtown and George and Gillette Street. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the Lacrosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning. Thanks for watching 7 Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.
Want to keep your employees happy? Buy them all lunch. Hi, Jerry here at Big Boar Barbecue. We cater lunches all the time for businesses big and small, 10 to 500. We can handle it. Give us a call and we'll help you figure out a great menu. Let's face it, good people are hard to find, so we can help you keep the ones you got. My grandpa used to say, you want to keep someone happy? Feed them barbecue. Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem.
Just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
And online at BigBoarBBQ.com.